Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Miss Cathy's Critter Corner. I'm Miss Cathy, Children's Library Assistant. Today I want to talk about a creature that's really common and really important to the health of our ecosystem, but one that we don't think about too often, the earthworm. World Earthworm Day was created in 2016 by the British Earthworm Society. It's designed to bring attention to these crucial and underappreciated little creatures. World Earthworm Day is celebrated on October 21st, and we'll be celebrating at the library with some earthworm-related activities and with our earthworm habitat that we're creating today. Common earthworms in this part of the country grow to be up to 8 inches long or so. They are pinkish-brown color, and they live in moist environments like under rotting logs and leaves and in your garden soil. Worms help to increase the amount of air and water that gets into the soil. They break down organic matter, like leaves and grass, into things that plants can use. When they eat, they leave behind castings that are very good fertilizer. Earthworms are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female characteristics. The thick band you see is called the clitellum. That is the reproductive segment of the worm. The clitellum is closer to the worm's mouth, which helps tell us which end is which. Today, in honor of World Earthworm Day, we're going to try to make an earthworm habitat, and then we're going to bring it to the library, and you can come by and peek and see if we can see the earthworms making progress in their tank. They should move around and mix the layers up. So we're going to make layers that are very easy to see so that we can see if they're moving the sand and dirt through the different layers. So we start with a layer of gravel on the bottom. The next thing we're going to add is some compost. I have some nice fresh compost. And if you don't have compost from a compost pile, you can just use regular dirt. But I have some, so I figured I would use both compost and dirt. So I'm going to put enough compost in that it's an obvious layer that we can see. And this just came right from my compost mixer that I have in my backyard. Okay, so now we can see that layer. So the next layer will be a layer of sand. Now this is sand that I got at the beach, but I rinsed it really well because we don't want a lot of salt in the sand. That wouldn't be good for the worms. So I rinsed it and rinsed it to make sure there was no sand. Now can you see how we have layers so we can see if they move that around? We're definitely going to be able to tell. A little bit more sand to make a nice layer. Now I'm going to add a layer of regular dirt that I got from my yard. See, it almost looks like a cake, how you can see the different sections. Okay, now I'm going to do another layer of sand. And then another layer of compost. Right, looks like our little tank is pretty full. Then we're going to take some leaves, grass clippings, and just some kitchen scraps, just a few. Only things like potato peel or banana peel, and we're going to put that on the top. And we'll see if they like that or not. I'm going to put a little bit more leaves on top of that. Now before we add our worms, we're going to give it a little bit of water. I want it to be moist but not soaking wet, because worms really need moisture. Okay, that should be enough to keep it nice and moist. And the next thing we're going to do is add our worms. I went and found them in my backyard, and these are just regular old earthworms. I found them under logs and in the garden dirt in my vegetable garden. So I'm just going to put them in. I have a whole bunch, and hopefully we'll be able to see what they're up to. So, there's a nice big one. Found some really nice big ones, along with some smaller ones. So we're putting them right on the top. A few more. And hopefully they will dig down into the layers and we'll be able to see how they move things around. I'm going to take some black paper and cover this up so that they feel safe, and I'm going to put a top on it, and then when you come to the library you can take a look underneath the paper and see if they've made tunnels. So come into the library and celebrate World Earthworm Day with us. Thanks. If you'd like to try to make an earthworm habitat at home and you can find some worms in your yard, you can make a very compact one with a mason jar. It just has sand, and dirt. And then we would put in some leaves or grass or a little bit of vegetable kitchen scraps. Put a top on that has air holes, a little bit of water, just like we did with the big one. Add our worms, and we can do that right at home. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about earthworms today, and I hope you'll come into the library and celebrate World Earthworm Day with us. Thanks for watching.